Well, we're here, Chris.
I don't believe you.
Take us away.
Um, are we?
We are. Yep.
I don't believe you. Let's get rolling. Hey, everybody. Thanks for showing up tonight. As you can see, we are short a Dax slash Myrna, but that's all right. We're going to move on without her tonight. She will be here in spirit. You guys aren't going to get in combat anyways, so you don't need her healing power. But anyways, this is FeatherFall. Everybody's looking at me side-eye here. Like, I'm just telling you the truth, man. Anyways, FeatherFall Tabletop, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We'll get through some of the sponsorships. We have a couple of them. One of them would be Found Familiar Coffee. You can find their link down below. That is an affiliate link. You follow that link. Use code FeatherFall at checkout. You're going to save yourself 10% on all of their fabulous coffee. That is supportive of much of the art community here in the TTRPG community. They do a lot of work in getting artists work on their bags of coffee. So if you're into that kind of thing, please support them and help support us. And all, just it goes all around, round and round. Also, we have a sponsorship from Skull Splitter Dice. Link down below. Again, affiliate link. That you can use code FeatherFall at checkout to save yourself 10% on some dice. They have a couple Independence Day sales going on. I believe today's the last day, but who knows? You can check them out. Anyways, they got tons of stuff on there for you to look at and maybe buy. I don't know. But anyways, I'll say thank you to them for sponsoring FeatherFall Tabletop. Tomorrow on the channel, we have a one-shot DM'd by Billy over there, Made in Waterdeep. That is from the Uncaged Anthology, which we are super excited to dive into that whole list of one-shots there. And that one's called Made in Waterdeep, Uncaged Anthology. On the 22nd of July, we have our very first Call of Cthulhu one-shot. I will be the keeper of arcane lore for that game. They're not DMs in that system. They're keepers of arcane lore. I will be taking the players through the Lightless Beacon, which was the free module for Tabletop Day a year or two ago, which I'm super excited to do that. That'll be the first time. Gods we know in chat. Made, M-A-I-D, not M-A-D-E, in Waterdeep. So here we are. This is Curse of Strahd. Thank you for being here and continuing this journey with us. If you are on Podcast Land or YouTube, thank you for following along as well. If you'd like to join us here live, we are every other Sunday on Twitch at 6:30 Pacific Time, 8:30 Central. We'd love to have you live in chat and hang out with us there. But this is session 12, titled Ambush at Blinsky's, as we left off last time. Setting up a possible ambush for a certain someone. But before we get to the recap, we do have a special sponsor for this segment on our FeatherFall Tabletop channel. This playthrough of Curse of Strahd is sponsored by Roll20. We will be using the module on Roll20, as you can see when we bring up our maps. They're kind of working through all their 2020 updates and projects, custom token markers, updates to the Fog of War, streaming and support integration, all that good stuff. Close to 5 million subscribers on their website, so check them out for all your digital tabletop needs. Roll20.net. This is how we roll. All right, recap of session 11. Some things happened. We're kind of getting deeper and deeper into Vallaki and kind of realizing that this is a town thick with issues. So you did return the bones of Saint Andrel to the church, to Father Lucian, and that is now hallowed ground once again. So we are thick with issues. I shouldn't have chat popped out because it distracts me from my recap. Anyway, that's my fault, not yours. Keep the chat going. But it is now hallowed again, and that first adventure or story thread of delivering Irina to these hallowed grounds is now checked off on your list of to-dos. But you did learn some other things from the father, that there's some other issues, such as Izek, the man that bumped into Avi and Myrna and I believe cast you were with Myrna at the time, that bumped him into you all with the kind of metal hand and the huge battle axe, and kind of ordering through the streets by order of the Burgermeister. You found out that he is actually the brother to Irina, and that he's carrying around this weird doll that is almost an exact liking of her, in the likeness of her, and that sets up the ambush of this person. You went to Blinsky Toys, just to kind of track down where these toys, this doll of Irina's coming from, and you went to Blinsky Toys. You met Piccolo, the monkey that once belonged to Rictavio, who is now in the hands of Blinsky. Blinsky showed you some of his macabre makings and toys. There was a Rushing nesting doll type toy that had a mummy on the inside. There was some beheaded toys. There was a Strahd lookalike dummy that I think Avi purchased. Yes, that will be great. I can't wait for that to come out. But you did see Blinsky finishing up a newest edition of this Irina doll, and you got some information from him, and you have decided that you're going to set up this ambush here in Blinsky's toy shop of Izek, the Burgermeister's kind of henchman or muscle, if that's what we want to call him. And I think that's pretty much where we left off. Did I miss anything else?
Sounds about right.
All right, I like that. We don't have Dax here with her impeccable notes, so we'll make do. It's fine. So that's where we are. You are in Blinsky Toys, and it was kind of a travesty to not have Adam as Bull there, because I think you would have had a good time in this, and you're still here, so you can still have a good time inside of this toy shop. So,
Toy shop?
yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to find a toy shop in the land of Barovia where everything seems to be bad?
Barovian?
Yeah. Barovian. That's, yes, I like it. All right. So that's where we left off.
I guess the first thing we need to do is, how do we set this trap, right?
You think we just have to wait here? He's
Okay.
He's supposed to come pick up the new doll, right?
And with that, I'm going to go ahead and just find a place to sit down and practice ventriloquism with a dummy.
Okay. Yeah, Gadolf Blinsky told you that he was finishing up this doll because he does come in periodically and get a new one. He doesn't pay for these dolls. He comes in and demands them to be made. So a lot of Blinsky's time is doing this free work here for this muscle of the Burgermeister. And he did say that he was coming in sometime today. You don't know for sure. You did come here first thing in the morning, so it is rather early. So you definitely didn't miss him as he was finishing up that toy. And this store is kind of lined with display shelves. It's got kind of a counter, and then behind is a curtained door that kind of goes back into a bigger workshop. He was working on a little side table, just finishing up putting the head on the body of Irina when you guys walked in. But there is kind of a curtained area in the back that makes way into a bigger workshop area. None of you have been back there or seen there, but he did tell you that. So Avi, you're going to take a seat. There is kind of like a bar stool behind the counter that you can get on, and you can set the Strahd dummy on there. And yeah, there are some mechanism. You put your hand in the back, and you can trigger the mouth. There are some like dowels that kind of connect to some of the different appendages, so you can get him to move his arms and his legs. But yeah, you're sitting there. Give me a performance check for the hell of it. We'll see how good you're doing.
This ends well. 4.
Yeah, you're having a hard time. Mostly on your end. You're able to move the mouth and get that flapping, but it's the art it takes for you not to move your lips as you're saying you're not there at all. You are miming the whole thing, so it's there's no ventriloquism happening. But good effort.
Really wanted Abby to be like a savant at fucking.
That would have been great, right?
Hey, Blinsky, do you happen to have a doll of Izek? I mean, I'm sure he's come and tortured you enough where maybe you have a little doll of him that you stick needles in or something.
No, I don't. I don't deal in the that kind of toys. These are toys, not weapons. He does pull out kind of a structure from underneath. I do have this, and it is it's a miniature gallows, complete with this trap door, and this man who is standing on a stool. And you just push this lever, and you know how gallows work. I mean, you could pretend. Sorry, I forgot my Blinsky voice. So yeah, he is very walking tonight.
It's pretty close.
But you can pretend this is Izek?
You are a disturbing man.
You use what is around you to create the art, right?
Cass just nods slowly, a little confused, before taking a look around the room, seeing if there's anywhere that we can go ahead and hide to jump this guy.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do this in my shop, you might want to hide in the back. You haven't had dealings with him yet, have you? He doesn't know your face. So maybe one or two of you could be out here.
If we hide in the back, what's to stop him from running out of the front?
He kind of shrugs his shoulders like, man, I don't know. He very well could.
I
You
think
don't want
our
this?
bait's good enough. I don't think he's gonna leave.
Yeah,
I
so
don't think he's gonna leave until we come out. You know, we're probably the most expensive looking people in this town. So I'm just a little worried that as soon as we pop out, he's just gonna go ahead and bolt.
He's here for his sister. He'll be fine.
yeah, so Tack, as a reminder, you are currently in the visage of Irina, correct?
Yep.
Irina pre-haircut.
Right.
That's something we skipped over in the recap. Is Tack suggested Irina get a haircut to kind of maybe widen the amount you two look alike, and so it's really only the one of you, which is you right now. So, are you planning on staying in the main area of the?
I think Tack wants to wait behind the curtain until Izek shows up.
Okay.
And then surprise.
Okay.
Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Okay.
Oh, I guess
So Tack's going to be behind. Avi, are you staying out front?
I'm thinking.
Where does
I'm thinking staying in like a corner and
Okay.
being quiet. So if you came in, you wouldn't just instantly see me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the end of one of the display shelves. You could kind of hide in the shadows a little bit. You're not totally hidden, but
Okay.
you're not out there in the wide open. Bull and Cass, what are you two doing?
I've got a question. Would it have been possible to leave Kane with Irina Prime back at the church?
Yeah, if we want to retcon that for the purpose of.
If anything happens to her, we'll just know.
Okay.
And then Bull I think he's got a wooden mask, so he'd put that on, and with his disguise kit, maybe just the loudest looking clothes, so he can just pretend to be a mannequin of sorts.
All right. You have a wooden mask. I like it. Yeah, you're able to put that on, kind of flip up the hood, and you have some kind of louder colors of just swatches of cloth in your kit that you're able to kind of drape over you like a shawl. You're gonna pose. What would your pose be if you're a mannequin?
If he has any other just creepy looking dolls, maybe just holding one almost like a baby.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely able to find one that, there are some that have a missing head that have already been decapitated. You're able to kind of cradle.
All fine.
And you're looking at it very motherly. It's fine.
It's normal.
So we'll say you're up on the other side of the room. on the other end of one of the display cases, looking like a mannequin. You're able to like snap in if you hear that door open up, but you're in position. Cass?
Cass is currently debating whether to pretend to be a bodyguard. Realizes that's probably a terrible idea, and then we'll go ahead and probably join Tack behind the curtain.
All right. Looks like you guys are all in your spots. He usually comes around lunchtime. I don't know if you want to stay in position until then.
Seems fine.
I've done worse than this.
All right. Anything else you want to do in a kind of a prep of this this encounter, this ambush?
Do we have a map of Blinsky's?
No, I don't. It's a rectangular room. There are no, if you remember from last time, it is kind of sandwiched in between two other buildings. So there are no windows on the side, one front door, maybe a back door. I mean, Tack, you're back there. You see there is a back door that heads out to a back alley if you pop your head out. But very rectangular, shelves along the side, one counter in towards the back end with the back room that has kind of his workshop. And you see like different starts of dolls, different maybe some discarded ideas of what didn't work out, didn't pan out in the full creation. You do see in the corner kind of a bigger clockwork imitation of what he was talking about last time with Van Werg's masterpiece of the Clockwork Man that is in Strahd's castle. You see something that kind of looks like that description, not completed, and then you just see like bins of raw material, stuffing, and some cloth, thread, needles, all that kind of stuff. Did anybody? So Avi, you were messing around with Piccolo there.
Yeah.
Are you done? Are you done? Okay, so yeah, Piccolo has returned to Blinsky's shoulder and is just kind of looking over him, and he does some general fetching of tools when he needs it, but you can tell Blinsky is doing a horrible job at trying to look busy as he's just sitting here tinkering, waiting as this ticking clock is going on. All right, anything else? Any last bits of prep?
I am good. Ready for this.
I think we're ready.
Okay, so hour goes by and nothing, and you can tell he's just trying to like keep small talk up, trying to stay busy. Another hour goes by, same thing, same kind of, no customers come in during that time, but towards the end of the third hour, the door does open up, and you see that man, and I handed him out last time. I think I can reshare it, show to players. It should just automatically show. Is that it? Okay. You see this man come in. He's got kind of this huge battle axe, a pelt over his shoulders, bald on his head, and the other arm that you can't really see in this picture is that metal that is in a solid position. And you do see on the axe there's a weird bracket that you could imagine that hand kind of slides into if he's going to wield it two-handed. Around that sleeve of the metal hand, you see a lot of the fur has been singed, like it was kind of too close to fire. So you see that kind of like char marks come up, and then it turns into a nicer white a wolf pelt over his shoulders, and he comes in and he barges directly to the counter and to Blinsky. Blinsky stops what he's doing and kind of straightens up. Oh, Izek, it's good to see you.
I think as I hear that, I'm gonna stand up, put the doll or whatever away, and just act like I'm maybe searching the shelves, but be very in tune with what's going on.
He pops his head over to you. You get a little bit of his gaze, but he does not pay attention to you very much. Adam, give me a performance check as you're mannequining it up in the on the other end. Mannequin, great movie, by the way. Kim Cattrall.
That is a 21.
Oh, yeah. You're as soon as you hear that door open, you just like lock it in place, and you got perfect. Hold it until I get back to you. I'm kidding. But he comes bounding up, and he kind of slams that metal hand on the counter, and he's like, "Where is the new one? Give it to me." And so Belinsky carefully takes this out and sets it on the counter, and he picks it up with his good hand, and he kind of holds it up, and he takes out the other one and holds it next to it. So now he's got both of them kind of sitting, sets them on the counter, and he's looking over it as in like doing a look of like, is this an exact replica of the last one you made? And it's good. And he puts the other one in his haversack, and he holds the other one, and he kind of cradles it almost like you are, Bull, in his hand. And he's going to pick up his axe, and he's going to turn around, and he's going to walk out.
I'll step out of the curtain, or from behind the curtain as he turns around.
Yeah, his back would be to you now.
I'll call out to him, "Hey, brother, I hear you're looking for me."
He turns around, and as he does this, you see almost like his knees go weak. Like this is a sight that he has been waiting for. And he says out loud, "My dream is here." And he holds up that doll next to you, fact-checking almost. And he stuffs it in a pocket, and he's going to kind of bow his head a little bit, and he is moving towards you rather aggressively. "You are coming with me." And he's going to get close to you, and he's going to try to grapple you and throw you over his shoulder. And if you don't want to contest this, he will do this.
I think I'll contest. Not very well, but I will attempt to contest. Actually, hold on. I think.
While Tack's doing that, I would like to just say I'm moving forward too. Like this isn't just going to happen, right?
Okay, so as he comes towards the back of the store, do you come in behind him, like backfill?
The moment he goes, "You're coming with me," yes, I will.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of stop looking at what you're looking at, and you turn, and now you're facing then him approaching Tack.
I'm going to hit him with the unsettling visage so that he's going to have disadvantage on this grapple check because I don't have any kind of good grappling skill.
Remind me the unsettling visage.
So just once per short rest, I basically flash a terrible face. And when a creature makes an attack roll against me, I can use this reaction to impose disadvantage on the roll. I have to use it before I know whether the roll succeeds or fails. But considering I have a poor ability to get out of the way, I'm okay using it ahead of time.
Okay. So yeah, as he's approaching, and your face flashes from this kind of picturesque Irina, kind of almost a flawless female face, just flashes into this horrific kind of visage, and you see him like try to shake it off, like, and kind of like taps his temple a little bit as he's moving towards you. But yeah, he's going to still try as your face flashes back to the Irina that he knows.
And while that's happening, I want to cast heat metal on the metal part of his arm that attaches to the skin.
Okay, I like it. He has to make a save, yeah?
No. Oh, for heat metal, yeah, I think it's... Actually, I don't think there's a save. I think it's drop it.
Yeah, you
take damage.
Okay, yeah. All right. So as he's... we're going to do this simultaneous. As he's going to grapple Irina / Tack and put over the shoulder, I'm going to say he gets you... Well, I guess we got to go through all
the grapple check there.
All right, so I rolled an 18.
Okay, well, that's with disadvantage you rolled an 18?
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and a 14.
He's strong. Well, then he grabs me because I have a 16.
Yeah, you could tell he is pretty strong. Like, he's got just that brute kind of body.
Actually, I want to use my inspiration. What's that? Is that advantage for inspiration?
I think add a D8.
Add a D8.
Yeah, roll a D8 and see what happens.
Also, good time. Anybody in the chat, if you got points, we're gonna need them. So use your channel points.
That was a 5, so that brings my 16 to a 21.
Oh shit! So that's enough. So as he's going to like grapple around you, you can feel on the small of your back that metal arms start to heat up, and he kind of brings his hand back quickly, and he looks at it, and you can see it just starting to glow this this soft red, and he flings it down. He's gonna shed that that sleeve, and what? Okay.
So it's 2d8 from that if we're doing that.
Yeah, give me that.
It's a 2
sweet damage.
And a 7, so 9 total.
And he doesn't have to make he doesn't even get a chance to save, huh?
No. So choose a manufactured metal object such as metal weapon, suit, or a suit of heavy, blah, blah, blah. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast a spell. Until the spell ends, you can use it. A bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. If a creature is holding or wearing the object and takes the damage from it, the creature must succeed on a con save or drop it. So if he's just choosing to drop it,
no save.
Going to flick it down, and you see that sleeve just come down. Does he take damage?
2d8, 9 damage. Right.
9 damage. 9. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right, so he takes that damage, and you hear him just this guttural kind of. But now you see this. It's kind of shriveled. This hand that looks like if you've read To Kill a Mockingbird, Tom Robinson gets his arm, just the muscle separated, and you see it kind of like just dangling there, very muscular from the mid forearm up, but below that it's just this kind of shriveled little thing that kind of went inside of that sleeve, and so he's screaming. Cass, Bull, we'll have you kind of do a surprise before we get into some initiative here.
Sorry, that was a go ahead, Cass.
Okay. I'm gonna pop my head out. Arvy's heated one arm. I want to frostbite the other.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, so as he's kind of like holding this up and looking at it. Go ahead.
It is a con save.
That's a 10 total.
DC is 12, so fails. Woohoo! That is 3 points of cold damage.
Okay. Going pen and paper, man.
And then I'll go ahead and stab myself as well to get my blood rate going.
All right. Bull?
Bull will go ahead and throw up cloud of daggers in right in front of the doorway to block him from running.
All right, and that's a 5 foot square, yeah?
Yes.
And can you move cloud of daggers, or is it stationary?
I don't believe so. I think that's just
I'm pretty sure that one's just once it's there, it's there.
All right, let's go ahead at this point. Let me get nope, not that one. Get that one out. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
I was gonna say we set up an ambush. The whole no combat thing. Lies. Lies.
That did not. Whoa, shoot. Izek did not roll well. All right, so Tack, that leads us to you, Izek, at the bottom of the order here. So you're all going to get another round of attacks on this guy as he's recovering, and now that heated metal piece of armor is not on his hand. He's like, athletic position coming at you again. His gaze only broke from you for the second to check his arm, and it was almost zero. It was zeroed right back on you. What you want to do, Tack?
So I'm going to try and hit him with a mind spike. No, not mind spike. A mind sliver cantrip. So that is intelligence save on his part. DC 14.
I had battle music up for this, so let's get that going. You said sorry.
DC 14. DC 14 int save.
I can't say that he's the smartest of guys. That's an 8.
So he's going to take a D6 psychic damage. And the next saving throw he makes before my turn, he has to roll a d4 and subtract it from that saving throw. So he takes 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to call out Dr. Fred and try and smash him with Dr. Fred.
Okay. What does that look like as you cast this? Because he's looking at you and you're doing things that maybe in his mind's eye are awkward.
Let's see. Mind Sliver has it's only a verbal component. So I just kind of whisper in his general direction. He doesn't even need to hear it.
I like it.
But it's just kind of a mouthed word in his general direction.
Do you have something you would whisper to him as you're like embodying Irina and you see him like talking about his dreams coming true? Is there
probably just a quick time to die?
All right.
And then there will be Dr. Fred is typically summoned with a kind of twirled fingers as he comes up from the depths, and I will try and position him. Seeing as he's phantasmic, it doesn't particularly matter where he is as long as he's within 10 feet of Izek. So I'll summon him and attempt to slap Izek with him. Well, let's see if I hit first. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. He's wearing, under that wolf pelt, you see studded leather armor underneath.
And then he takes...
Yes, that does it.
Check. D10 or D8? D8. So he'll take a total of 4 points of electrical.
And you said he has disadvantage on his next save?
So, yeah, with Mind Sliver, it's just a little cantrip. The target takes 1d6 psychic damage, and the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the saves. So if I cast a spell that's got a save, he loses it, or if anyone else does anything requiring him to save.
All right. As you are doing all this and you're kind of whispering in his ear and summoning your tentacle, you see his eyes kind of like droop down at the side, like saddened almost, and he's like, "Sister, no!" And he's very upset here. Anything else, Tack?
That's it for me.
Right.
I will hold my ground otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, he's like almost his nose is getting closer to you, like the alien going up to Ripley's cheek, just like getting in your area. Avi.
Yeah, I'm gonna just cast Scorching Ray. So 3.
Scorch Ray.
Son of a bitch. 13, 8, 21.
3, 13, 8, 21?
No, 13, 8, and 21.
That's one hit.
Okay.
The 21 hits.
A full 8 damage of fire just straight to his gut.
Okay. And you're kind of off his kind of wing off his shoulder, and you light him up, and that singe continues around the wolf pelt that is on his shoulders. That was kind of this impeccable white is now like singed and charred black. He does take some damage as that fire kind of comes up and around his neck. He does turn quickly to look at you, and you see you now have kind of the ire of his gaze there. Anything else, Avi? Bull. So you've cast Blade Ward on the door, and I imagine you kind of did that without moving a whole lot, and you're still kind of in this catatonic mannequin-like state.
Yeah, they're probably pretending a little bit here, and then they'll go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers to Izek, and they'll say, "Hey, it looks like you could use a hand." And that is a Wisdom save of 13.
Oh, shit. Wisdom save? No, that's a 9.
Yeah,
he's not very bright. Oh! More muscular.
Sorry about that.
I think he has a lot of hit points.
That is a 15
he should have
psychic damage.
He would have disadvantage on that, but he failed anyway. So how much psychic damage?
15.
Whoa, shit.
Yeah.
What is that? It's not even a real spell.
And then they'll go ahead and look towards Avi, Cass. Say, hey, you're doing great. I mean, give him a thumbs up, and that's Bardic Inspiration.
That is literally the worst Bardic inspiration. I'm kidding. That was good. I like it. I like the subtleness of it. Not everybody has to be over the top. I like it.
I just read it as sarcasm. Sarcastic inspiration.
He knows you're going to need it. So yeah, you now have an inspiration. Is it a D8 for you at this point?
D6. I think at level 5 it's a D8.
All right. D6 for you, Cass. And that leads us to you, Cass. What would you like to do? As you're kind of coming out of the curtains, you've kind of frozen his other hand, and you're over the shoulder of Tack as Irina. What would you like to do?
So Frostbite means he has disadvantage on his next attack roll, which is exciting. So I don't really need to do much there. I'm probably just going to go ahead and... rush him, to be honest.
Okay.
Just
bite your thumb at me, sir. So what does this look like? Are you going to like tackle, grapple, or just kind of bull rush and knock back?
I'm literally just gonna rush him with my trident.
Okay, all right. I like it.
Get straight in there.
I like it.
That is a 16 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Awesome. That is 5 points of piercing, 3 points of cold.
5 plus 3 is 8. Math. All right. Yeah, the spear comes in, and you're able to get it in through and pierce through that leather. One of the tines on your trident kind of clangs off one of the studs, but it's able to kind of just shift over to the side and get right into there, and you do get him a nice little spear into his rib cage. And he tries to grab it with that hand that has been de-armored, and it just kind of lays on your trident lazily. Not really, and you don't feel any push as he tries to do that. Anything else, Cass?
I just kind of go, folks, I thought this was going to be harder.
I mean, action economy is clearly in your favor. Izek it is now his turn to act. He's like looking around and scanning the situation and seeing all these people like come out of the woodwork and just like, and you can see him start to like really heave, breathing from way up high, and he's like looking at you, Irina. He's gonna try to grab you one more time.
I'll relent.
Oh.
I'm not gonna contest.
Okay, so he's going to come up and grab you. He will take the opportunity attack from, I believe, Cass, you're the only one in melee, unless, Avi, you want to make a case for it. He's going to grab you and get up and use his movement to walk. I'm going to say he gets to the Blade Ward, so if you go ahead and give me the damage for that. I mean, the shop isn't super long. He's got enough movement to get to the door.
I'm going to spend my reaction to Hellish Rebuke.
Yes,
now
you
that
can
he's successfully attacked me.
Do you have to take damage to do Hellish Rebuke?
Oh wait, do I? I think you are correct. Well, then never mind.
Outside of the grabbing of you, that was like
didn't
swift.
Hurt me, so, okay.
It was very
right.
gentle.
Yeah, you have to
damage only.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, no problem.
That is 10 slashing from the Blade Ward.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm going to take that too.
Cloud of Daggers, sorry, not Blade Ward.
Yeah, sorry.
Opportunity attack, natural 20.
Nice. Pew, pew, pew. Nice, right? So, yeah, give me the damage roll on that. Cass, or Tack, you take that same 10 points of damage, I would imagine.
Yep. I mean, if technically we're sharing a square, so if he moved into the Cloud of Daggers, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, it's kind of catching your kind of legs that are dangling in front of him. Just.
Okay, so he's not resistant to cold, right?
Not that you know. He seemed to have taken.
Not as I know. Okay.
He seemed to have taken the brunt of that damage.
20 points of piercing, 4 points of cold. Max roll on the damage.
Damn. He's looking rough. You guys, those are some monster rolls, guys. I thought this was going to be a little more difficult. So yeah, he has you, and as those blades come in and start to cut up, he kind of like lifts you. He lifts you and almost gets you into a like shoulder carry, so you're up out of that ward, out of those blades that are getting you, those cloud of daggers. Let's call it what it is. He gets you up and out of it, like protecting you in a way. You do take the damage, but he has moved you out of there. And he is to the door. That's his movement, and his action was picking you up. So he is. That's where he's at. So we're back to you, Tack. What would you like to do as you are now on his shoulder?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is move Dr. Fred closer.
Okay.
And have him swing at the feet there of Izek.
Yep.
And that is a 12, so I doubt that.
Yeah, that does not hit. Your tentacle tripped over a stuffed dire wolf as it was kind of moving through and just kind of flops down right behind him. Wasn't able to get a swipe in there.
I'm going to attempt to mind spike him then.
All right.
That is a wisdom save on his part, DC 14.
No, that's a 7.
Okay, so he's going to take 3d8 psychic damage.
Negative modifier, man. Ooh.
So that is 13 points of psychic damage. And where'd it go?
You can see
on
as you're there.
Go ahead.
He takes his hand up and he's like hitting the back of his head, just like there's weird things going on up there that he's not used to. He's trying to hit it out.
So 13 psychic damage, and on a failed save, I always know his location until the end of the spell, which is concentration up to an hour, but only as long as we're on the same plane of existence. So
yeah, you're pretty close to him.
And I guess that's going to be it for me.
Okay. After he's done hitting his head and kind of like trying to shake that off, he goes to and he reaches for the handle. So his hand is on the door handle heading out. Not able to open it, but he is there. Avi. Yeah, he's looking rough. Okay. It. Nah, 2 of those hit. What's that total? 6 plus 8?
I was muted in stream.
Can you see it?
6
Exactly
14.
right 14
there.
hit points. There we go.
That says 14 right there.
Yeah, baby.
So exactly 14 hit points. As he's like reaching for that door, just in the cloud of daggers is all swirling around. Your scorching ray comes in and kind of like gets lost in those cloud of daggers and circles around him once, twice, and then lands in his side. The other one comes in, lands in his side. One of them shoots right through the daggers, hits the door, kind of lights it up, but hits him, and he falls back, and he falls like with you as like Tack. You are his neck pillow at this point as he is fallen down, and his arms and that big battle axe that he didn't even get to use just thuds down to the ground, and that limp hand lightly just falls. You guys are out of initiative. What would you like to do?
Well, I think we did it, guys. I'm gonna look at Belinsky and say, "You're gonna take care of this because we gotta go." Right?
Who are you speaking to?
Belinsky.
What do you want me to do with him?
Get rid of him. I think is exactly what we wanted you to do.
That's what's not in the cards, but he comes over and he's like, as he comes around the counter with Piccolo on his shoulder, he is kind of a rotund man. He does kind of have a big pot belly, the kind of that big bulbousy red nose. He's wearing that jester cap, and the bells are kind of jingling as he's walking down, and he comes up and he kicks Izek in the ribs as hard as he can.
He's
dead.
just
like,
believe me.
I will take care of him. Tack, have you got your way out of underneath him?
I've kind of crawled out from underneath him. I'm going to pick up his hand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Trophy.
Give me an investigation check as you're looking at it. And and you can see that hand is like there is no musculature from the bottom half of the forearm up to his fingertips.
It's a 17 on my investigation check.
You see that there is a weird, it's like pencil-sized tube that runs underneath it. And on the outside of that tube there is a bunch of char marks, like the metal has been kind of like hit by fire quite a bit. And if you look at his hand, you can see that he did have some sort of magical property where he was able to spit fire from that hand, and he was using that as kind of like a flamethrower in a sense, but he didn't get to use it because of heat metal.
That's what's up.
He was going to grab Irina and then flame you all and run, but shit happens. But yeah, you see it. It looks gold plated, but it is not like solid gold. It is nicely crafted. What would you like to do with it?
Just gonna put it in my bag.
Okay, it's pretty heavy. I mean, it's not weighing you down, and you're not encumbered, but it is. It's a thick piece that he. That's why his bicep was so big and his shoulder. He's heaving that thing around. Blinsky says, "Help me take him to the back, in case customers come in."
Yeah, I'll start dragging. Well, what little I can, I suppose.
Yeah, Blinsky gets down on one side and his kind of belly's in the way. He can't really like lean down and he starts to breathe a little heavy.
One moment. I want to wander over and search the body.
Okay.
Just right there in the middle of the shop. Cast us
He's got that huge battle axe, with the added brace that he would hook that hand into. He's got 2 of those Irina dolls. He doesn't really have anything else. I mean, he's got like a ration or 2, a couple coins, but nothing of real note other than the dolls. And the axe is like the hand. The axe is well crafted, a nice piece of equipment.
I will grab the axe.
Okay.
I'll grab coins.
Okay.
And his fancy ass fur coat thing.
Yeah, it's so 7 of those Strahd inlaid golden coins that you've seen. The battle axe is it could be a versatile weapon. It's one-handed, two-handed, regular battle axe. So a 1d8 or a 2d10, depending on one hand or two.
2d10. Oh my gosh.
No, sorry, 1. He had the brute statistic, so he got an extra damage die, but it's either 1d8 or 1d10. And then, did you grab the dolls?
I'm going to take the dolls if no one else does.
Okay.
I ain't touching them.
We'll take the rations if no one else is going for those.
Take the cannoli. How's the line go? Take the cannoli, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
I'm going to ask Blinsky if he has any more of these dolls in preparation.
As he's kind of like...
Parts or pieces?
He's like kind of hefting up this one shoulder. Avi's on the other side. You see Piccolo kind of climb down his shoulder, run to the feet of Izek, and Piccolo's trying to pick up the heels from dragging. Struggling, not able to do it, but he's really helping. No, I make them to order. There's raw parts in the back.
You use molds or anything?
No, handcrafted. It's the Blinsky way.
Great. That was it. I just wanted to... I was going to have him destroy any molds or partial built pieces that he had, but if he doesn't have any, then I'm not worried about it.
No, he doesn't. It's kind of... he's got the practice down. You can tell he's made enough that he's able to just freehand it and pass the inspection of Izek. There are the raw materials in the back, like bolts of cloth that would make up Irina's clothes. The horsehair that matches. There's like baskets of horsehair for different colors, but there is a basket that matches Irina's, and the like. So you could do something with that, but there are no molds or no other.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't want to destroy his business. I just don't want any more arena dolls being made.
Perfect. So he and Avi kind of bring him to the back. It's like he turns to you, Avi, as you're back there. What should I do with him?
Well, bury it, or
I had a thought for a second that maybe stuff him. Like,
wait, with what?
Like,
yeah, turn him into a mannequin. It'll be hilarious.
Like taxidermy. Like, make him into a doll.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You are a creepy, creepy man.
But what? I mean, what are you gonna do with a life-size man doll?
We don't need to know that answer, I don't think.
Obviously, I would keep him back here. I don't want people to go running and telling the Burgermeister.
But that just seems okay. As much as I love the idea, it's a terrible.
Didn't we watch Game of Thrones? We know how this ends. It's
a terrible idea in the fact that you keep the evidence, get rid of it, throw it away, burn it.
You've done this before.
No.
Bull will,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Bull will walk over and put his wooden mask on the face of Izek.
Okay.
Looks good to me. I don't know.
His body is very distinct, though, like with the arm and just the build itself, and kind of the clawed other, like you see on this other good hand that has not been mutilated. He doesn't cut his nails. It's just kind of what happens. But yeah, I'll get creative. But if the Burgermeister comes, I'm sending him your way.
Absolutely. We wouldn't expect anything else.
Do you happen to have another Strahd doll? And also, I guess, side question. Have you met Strahd? How do you know what he... Oh, I guess he's on the money. Fuck.
Yeah.
And the statues and the threats, and for some reason I was going to call him Strudel. His name is not Strudel, it's Strahd.
Curse of Strudel.
It's a delicious tale.
That's the Sesame Street version of Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strudel. Again, I make one and I sell it and I'll make another one. But until they sell...
Interesting business model. Okay, well, we're gonna need the monkey, and then that's about it. We'll get going.
I cannot give you the monkey. We talked about this last time. Rictavio would be upset. I'm only keeping watch of him until Rictavio leaves. Yeah. As the monkey's not welcome at the Blue Water Inn.
Yeah, well, Rictavio can go fuck himself, and we're gonna be taking this monkey.
No, he is a great man. He has stories to tell. You cannot have the monkey, and you see Piccolo by this point has like crawled up back onto the shoulder of Blinsky. I let you take my shop over, but you cannot. Octavio would not be happy. I cannot give him to you.
We don't need the monkey for anything. Just leave the monkey.
Well, do we not?
What are you going to do with the monkey? Nothing.
We
need any toy.
We need the monkey to lure in Rictavio for our...
We're not luring Rictavio. We're leaving. We're leaving.
The toy will make you happy. Just don't... No.
I've got a Listen, we all want to kill Rictavio. We know he was big asshole.
No,
and he's probably working with
Strahd. He's not on the list at all.
This centers back to Rictavio's out regaling you at the bar, right? At the tavern. Bull is a little upset.
No, is that the
taking this personally? I feel like you're taking this personally. Do you have a grudge?
No.
I feel like you have a grudge.
I just happen to think that maybe Rictavio here is a little bit more than meets the eye.
Oh, he is good man. He comes by daily.
The creepy toy maker.
Bull, you can barely feed yourself. How are you going to feed yourself and a monkey?
Well, I thought maybe Avi and I would take turns being monkey parents.
That's also the worst idea.
But to be fair, I did speak with the monkey, and the monkey kind of wants to stay here. He likes it here, so I'm cool. We'll find one later, I guess. In the next city, we'll go monkey searching.
A huge monkey population in Barovia.
Speaking of that,
I'm having nothing to do with it.
no, monkeys aren't for everybody. I agree with that. But so speaking of that, where would he have gotten a monkey? Because I don't think we've seen any monkeys in the wild here.
Rictavio is a very well-traveled man, I'm sure.
Like, is it known to travel outside of Barovia for things? And Barovia has a huge import from Faerun.
No, you've heard up to this point that the Vistani can travel out. Strahd has a deal with them that they can come and go, and that's who you met at the river banks outside of on the Sword Coast, whatever the town was. I can't remember.
But it also sounds like this Rictavio can travel in and out of town, so...
At the same time, people can come in if they have a certain, maybe, destiny, or they've been called upon, or some other means. You can make it into Barovia.
Holy shit, Rictavio's gonna kill Strahd.
You don't have... Rictavio doesn't. Recalling that encounter you had at the Blue Water Inn, he doesn't have the makeup of a Vistani. He doesn't have the makeup of a Barovian. He's kind of that eccentric figure that doesn't fit either of those molds.
A light in the darkness. I love it.
I know not where he came from, but he is here, and he's a good man.
I'm gonna give Belinsky a Faerun gold that we have, and say, hey, this is for your trouble. I appreciate it, helping us and everything.
I hope it helped. But if you'll excuse me, I have to deal with this now.
I'll hand him another gold coin and say, you won't ever make another one of these dolls.
And I thank you. I can be more creative now and make other things. And he points back to that Russian type nesting doll with the mummy in the middle.
If anybody asks who did this, it was Tack. Just tell them Tack did it, and with that, I'll turn and walk out of the shop.
Okay. I assume you've dropped your cloud of daggers.
Yeah, it only lasts a minute, so it probably...
Okay, yeah, we're past that. So yeah, you're able to go back in. You see, the skies have opened up a little bit. It's probably the brightest day you've had in Barovia since you've been here, but still massive cloud cover. It's nothing like anything you've seen on the Sword Coast when that sun is unhindered by any sort of cloud cover. So it feels good a little bit, but yeah, almost like your good deed has kind of parted the clouds a little bit, but not enough to give you unfettered access to the sun. What's everybody else doing? Are they following Avi out?
Got nothing else to do, so yeah, absolutely.
I'll actually put another 5 gold coins just on the counter as we leave while he's still in the back futzing around with that body.
Okay.
We'll leave a couple of gold. Well, I guess before he leaves, he'll talk to Belinsky. So, if you can go ahead and make a plush in my visage, there's more where this came from. He'll slide the coin his way.
You can see him kind of getting a mental snapshot of who you are. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. No. And he like kind of gathers up those coins that you've left and puts them in the little lockbox he's got there.
That son of a bitch. No, walk out.
Everybody else heading out.
Yeah, I think the plan was to leave town after we committed this murder.
Yeah, make sure that Irina was a little bit safer, and then head to Madam Creepy.
Eva. Madam Eva?
Yeah, that's the one. Madam Creepy,
so
yes.
You're kind of dead center in the town. Actually, right here. So you going back? So, Bull Kane didn't. Nothing triggered that way. So are you guys heading back to the church to just double check, or?
No, I don't think so. I think we made our peace.
I agree. I think we would just jet.
Should we at least make sure that the bones are working? Literally poke our head in and go, okay, yep, Satan's not here, and then leave.
He said the bones were working. That's good enough. If the priest says it's working, I'm not one to argue with the priest about whether or not the bones are doing their job. This is already far beyond what I would normally grant anyone as far as clemency, assistance, or help.
Oh, boy. All right.
So you guys are heading out the way you came in?
Yeah, I think we were headed out that way.
Okay. Are you going back to that main thoroughfare? Or are you kind of cutting down on those kind of back roads?
I would vote back roads and not through the main thoroughfare after we just
works for me.
Somebody.
Yeah. So as you kind of you take this horseshoe, the bottom of this horseshoe that goes, and you're heading now in this general direction. I'll ping it there on the map. You see what it makes up the town square. There are a couple like open tents and shops. Very few homes down here. It's mostly like commercial. Decorated, and there are these limp and tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers everywhere around that like circle this town square. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked in which are several men and women and children, even wearing crude plastered donkey heads. So they're kind of locked in, and they got this big donkey head on there, kind of weighing them down. In the center of the square, there are peasants in kind of like patchwork clothes. They don't look well-to-do at all, but they eye you suspiciously as you are kind of like walking through the square, and they're using cups and vases to draw water from the crumbling stone fountain. There is kind of the town well here that is in serious need of upkeep. Standing tall at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree, which happened before you guys got here. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well in capital letters. All will be well, the Baron. And as you see that going up, you see two people approaching that sign and taking that down, and they have this ready-made sign that is coming up. And it is almost like carbon copy of the previous sign, but this one says, come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year. Verbatim like the last one. Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well, the Baron. Are you guys passing through?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No need to hang around for that.
This guy is... Yeah, no. This guy is creepy. He is delusional. And no.
So as you're kind of passing those people in the donkey heads and in the stocks, you hear one of them say, "What is malicious unhappiness? How can I be arrested for this? Let me out, this is unjust. There's no reason children should be in the stocks."
Children in the stocks?
Well, that's not necessarily true.
I was going to say, I know a few children who are utter brats, so...
Yeah.
Cass kind of rolls his eyes and just says, "That was an attempt at humor."
Yep. So you guys are heading through. If you're passing through, you make it up to that intersection. You're now back on that main thoroughfare, heading out kind of towards the outer skirts of the town. Here in this section is the what is their general store. If you're going to want to stop by for any provisions before you leave, the Arasek stockyard, and this is just a reminder, since it's been a few sessions since you've come by here. This large stockyard has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. And Cass, this is where you came in and traded that crossbow. A wooden sign above the front gate reads Arasek Stockyard. Parked on the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy carnival wagon. Its colorful painting peeling off, faded lettering on the side spells out the words Rectavio's Carnival of Wonders. A heavy padlock secures the back door. So if you want to stop and get any provisions, you can do so here, or we can continue on.
I mean, I have money, so I'm gonna go take a look.
Okay.
I am not gonna go in there.
Oh yeah, you said
I have money.
Yeah, you guys have.
I didn't say we have money. I said I have money.
So you see a male and female kind of that are kind of roaming around, and they see you walk in. Ah, welcome. You're back. He recognizes you, Cass. You need some more gear?
I'm just seeing if you've gotten anything new, anything interesting recently.
Oh, not much. Just, run-of-the-mill stuff. But you have friends this time. Any of them need trade? Are you heading out? You might need some provisions.
I will see what my companions say.
Well, I mean, food. I could use some rations.
Traveling.
Yeah, we have rations.
I'm outside, by the way. Not coming in at all.
Okay. Yeah, you're hanging out kind of on the corner outside of the... This does have, imagine a stockyard or a junkyard. It's got some higher walls. If it had barbed wire was a thing, you would have that. But it is kind of sealed off within this town.
Okay.
We have a mess kit. You need one of those? Or are you looking for actual rations?
Actual ration.
Yeah, we have those, and he's kind of got this dried this canvas sack full of dried goods, and he kind of puts it on this kind of rickety wooden table that is kind of in the middle of the stockyard, or not in the middle of the stockyard. It's towards that bigger warehouse just out in the front.
I do actually have a question for you now that I think about it. So you tend to get some regular kind of products. Does that include tools as well?
I mean, we got some tools. It depends on what you're looking for. What do you need?
I left my alchemist set in Faerun.
Faerun? What the hell is that?
A while away.
Yeah. Never been there.
It's not much better than here, to be honest. But anyway, yes, I did leave my alchemist's kit there. Perhaps you have a replacement?
You need the whole kit? Or you just need parts of it?
Just a set of tools, a set of alchemist supplies. If you have them.
And he turns around and Yelena, you got any of them alchemist kits? Just a second. I think we do. Yeah. And you see her kind of digging into some boxes and holds one up, runs it up to the table. Thank you. Yeah, we got one here. 5 gold.
All right. I'll throw 5 of the Strahd bucks coins.
Yeah, Strahd bucks.
I'll slide those over.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah, it's normal currency here, so he doesn't even think twice about it. He just kind of rakes them into his little apron. There he has a pocket there. Oh yeah, and he's got it. So yeah, you have an alchemist kit.
Good old
Anything else? Anything else? It's a good day today. We might close up early.
Just from
Possibly.
Rations. You said you needed rations, right?
Yeah, some.
You want 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day? How far are you going?
How many rations can I get for fixing your table here?
It's a nice table. He kind of slaps the side of it, and it kind of creaks a little bit. It's a nice table. What do you mean? Like, I built this. When did I build this?
I could make it a little bit more sturdy, or else I got some daggers to barter. And he starts pulling out daggers. He's like, I got a bone dagger, I got a rat dagger, I got a...
Ooh. Yelena comes in and is like, you built that? I want to say our oldest was 10 years old. That would have been 35 years ago. Yes, it's held up. But, ooh, that rat dagger. Was that a rat skull? Where the hell did you get something like that? Who was sick enough to make that thing?
I think some ghosts made it at the death house, I believe was the name of the place. Yeah. So it's got a whole tail behind it. You could make a whole other.
You guys are like.
Here.
I don't think it's colloquially known as the Death House, but sure.
You guys are talking about places I've never even heard of before. Faerun Death House? Oh, you guys adventurers. What do you think something like that's worth? And he picks it up, kind of holds it around, kind of moves it around, looks at it. What do you say? 2 gold? About 2 gold there?
About how many rations is that? And I will say that apparently there is a high chance that if you throw it at somebody, it will kill them instantly.
Whoa! Give me a deception check. I mean, do you even need to roll? I rolled a 2.
I mean, that's gonna be pretty good. That's 24.
Yeah, he's like super into it now. You said like, the insta kill is like, all right. So I'll tell you, insta kill is gonna get you an extra gold, 3 gold, and that's gonna be 6 days of rations if you want to do a straight trade.
You know what? I like to cut it. What is even your name, sir?
The name's Gunther. This is my wife, Yelena. We run the stockyard here.
Well, pleasure to meet you. I'll gladly trade you this one-of-a-kind dagger for 6 days of rations.
Yeah, easy. Yelena, you want to get 6 rations, 6 days worth? And she comes like arms full. I mean, it's not like super full, but it's 6 days worth. It's kind of, there's some bigger bundles, like some things that don't really dehydrate down. There's a couple packs of jerky. There's some dried fruits in there. Kind of thumps them down. Some dust comes out of these.
Space ice cream.
Space ice cream,
packets.
Yeah. Neapolitan. Sets it down, and they are a little dusty. They've been there for a while, but dried to perfection, though.
I'll take
Anything
6
else?
days worth too, but I'll pay in coin.
Oh, good. Yeah, you don't have anything to trade, huh? Okay. That's going to be 2 days is 1 gold. So if you want, so it's 3 gold.
He does have things to trade. He just likes to keep them at arm's length. So sorry.
Right. Tack, are you still Irina at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going to maintain Arena for probably ever now.
Just checking in. Anything else we want to do? We can like kind of fast track this shopping. If you want to pick something up, just let me know. It's basic adventuring gear. So if you have the PHB handy, most things in there, I think under 25 gold are within the shop as you're kind of looking around. Bull, as you've traded that dagger, you see that he's got kind of a bin next to him that just has like a bunch of general shit, that stuff that maybe he gets daily and just kind of tosses it in. But you see this, he kind of holds it with a little more reverence, and he's done another set of kind of evaluation on it. Like he's kind of into this. Like your deception check really got him. He's eyeing this thing.
Hold that one close. It's got high sentimental value and resale value.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, while you're still here, I think I got a steal here. Like, the thing's worth quite a bit. I'm gonna make a good return on this.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's also cursed, but that's by the by. And he'll
Damn
walk
it!
away.
He's kind of like looking at it again, like, and he puts it down on the table in front of him. Anybody else want to do anything here, or we're ready to move on?
I'm good to go.
So, I do have a
If
question.
he doesn't have anything special, I'm good. I just wanted my alchemist's kit.
Yeah, you got it, man.
I have a completely unrelated question. So in the
I love
Strahd currency, is it
Yeah.
like true to his actual features, or is it more like,
Horrified.
well, no, is it like crudely done, or is it like a master, like, modern money today, where it is pretty accurate to the.
Yeah, so as you've kind of come in contact with a good collection of them, they are pretty true to form throughout uniform, and they look a lot like that dummy you got. Like, there's no mistaking who it is.
Sure. Okay.
And yeah, they're pretty uniform.
Okay.
If that's what you were.
Yep.
needing.
Perfect.
Okay.
I got a plan, y'all. It'll be there.
Okay.
Ray, are you drinking mustard?
Straight up. Is it Dijon?
No, it's just a yellow cup.
Dijon or spicy brown?
I'm English. I'm not that English.
So I was at a party not too long
Mustard's
ago,
good, though.
social distance party, and
Yeah,
a dude
yeah.
legit pulled out a mustard, like a French's mustard thing, and was drinking it. And so I had to double check. I'm like,
It's a real thing.
what
Why
are
would-
you
what?
doing?
It's gross.
So I Googled it. It's good for cramps.
Yeah, I've heard that. Sidetrack here.
Electrolyte, maybe?
Yeah.
It's kind
Pickle
of plant
juice, too.
seed.
Pickle juice, too. Anyway, best mustard is mixed with horseradish, just saying. Anyway,
No.
horseradish, underrepresented in the condiment section of my fridge. Anyway, moving. So as you're leaving the stockyard, I'm going to say Avi and Bull. Just because I can't let you leave just yet. You hear a weird, as you're kind of leaving and going out, you're outside of the stockyard, but as you're exiting that where the gate would be when it's closed, you hear a growl in the in Rectavio's wagon.
Fucking Rick Tapio.
Is there any like windows?
The growl
or
of an
peepholes?
animal or the growl of an enthusiastic individual?
They can give me a
Or
nature
of a
check.
werewolf.
It's very subtle. And you two have the highest passive perception, so you're able to hear it. The others, it's kind of like just lost in the wind. But if you want to give me a nature check, you can maybe decipher it a little bit more, or you can keep on moving.
That's a 12.
Avi, do you hear that?
Oh yeah, I do.
Is this something we need to look into?
It could be a danger to the people here. So I want to try and peek in there if there's any kind of like windows.
They're kind of like the bathroom windows. They're very rectangular, very short,
Hey,
and
Bull,
they're up.
boost
And there
me
are
up
some
real
like bars and that kind of.
Bull, boost me up there
fill
so
the
I can
hole.
see it.
Alright, just hit a triangle and I'll boost you up.
I do hit triangle.
As you kind of like get boosted and grab the bars to kind of like pull yourself up and look in, the wagon lurches and kind of like rocks a little bit, like something was thrown against the inside wall. You hear kind of the cracking of wood and some scraping of metal, and you hear that snarl again, a little more pronounced. Definitely not human. As you look inside, you can see, the first thing you see is the other side of the inside of this wagon on the wall. You see some spattered blood. You see inside a tiger that has, like, if you think He-Man's tiger, like He-Man, it's got like an armored helmet. It's got a helmet, and it's got kind of not a saddle, but it has like rib protection, and it's got some shoulder blade kind of. It's armored. It's an armored freaking saber-toothed tiger.
And it's
as you peek in.
It's quadrupedal, so it's not like a.
Yeah, no, it's on all fours.
Okay.
It's not like it's not a tabaxi. It is on all fours, and you see it kind of like shoulder up against the wall you're on, and then it kind of circles around, and then it does the cat like circle and sits, and then it finishes eating this like big piece of steak that's in there.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. Oh god.
Is that a say, or does that just happen?
I
know we just cast this, but I can't remember.
Son of a bitch.
I'm the worst.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they perceive or have perceived the past day.
Okay. It's got a low intelligence, so...
Yeah, I mean, I would think it can, like, discern, are you okay? Is everything okay in here?
You hear back, like, a very positive kind of... Yes. And it's pawing, is like holding down this slab of meat, and then, like, trying to rip it with the rest of its mouth.
Is that armor comfortable?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. See ya. I'm just gonna leave then. Like, if he's good, I'm good.
Yep. Yeah, there was no concern in the telepathic message that came back to you is pretty like it's content in there. It just as you were approaching it, kind of like that was its first line of defense.
I guess one last question: was the meat like human? Was it like just a giant like torso thrown in there?
Did you ever give me a nature check? If not, you can give me a nature check as you.
12.
It's too small to be human. This cut of meat.
Is it okay? Is it humanoid? I guess I should say.
You wouldn't think.
Okay. Well, shit, I'm good then. I got nothing else, man. I'm not fucking with this tiger.
You're good. What do you even mean? You just started growling like a cat, and then you walk off. That's not a normal thing that happens.
Well, I mean, you literally change shape. Why is it so weird that I can speak to cats, but you change into?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, context. You don't give anybody anything what's going on. You just said, I'm good, and walked away.
Sometimes I forget. That's my fault. Yeah, no, it's fine in there. It's eating. It was hungry. It's a giant tiger, by the way, with battle armor, too. I can only assume it would be amazing if we could get it, but I don't think we could get it.
Yeah, anything we can just kind of lift from Rictavio, let's do that, right? You seem like a beast master. You can talk to animals. Why don't you want to ride that into battle?
I can talk to him. I can't like make him do things, right?
All right. Well, fuck it. I don't care about these people in stockades are apparently tigers. Let's go.
It's true. Yeah, I'm gonna leave too. Hop down and just bounce. I don't need to see this.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So as you are heading down, going east on that main thoroughfare, you get closer to those gates that you came upon in the middle of the night when you first got here. 15-foot tall, 15-foot tall wall that is just the same as it encloses all of Vallaki. There are guards, and they kind of like tip their hat to you as you walk through. They do have to unlock some of the heavy iron chains that do kind of close everything in, but they do let it go as you are walking through. And at this time, it's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. As you kind of had to wait at Belinsky for Izek to show up, and then spent some time here at the stockyard.
Can we make it to the Vistani camp in like a day if we're pushing it, or do we have to? We're gonna have to stop here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move you over to that main map of Barovia.
I think we planned
Here on roll 20.
it. So if we left early enough in the morning, we would just make it in a day by night. But we kind of screwed that up.
We all know that the backup plan was that you guys wanted to visit the creepy windmill. So we can get to the creepy windmill tonight and go to Madame Ava's tomorrow.
Yeah, so you guys are way up here.
You're being serious.
That
okay, let's go with the creepy windmill. Yeah, sure.
That windmill you saw was here. Yeah, to get over in this area, this little trail here was the one that would take you to that camp. That's probably a good 10-12 hour walk nonstop. It's probably 2 or 3 to the windmill.
If only we had some sort of tiger to ride.
What was He-Man's tiger's name?
Tiger is a very specific animal. Why
all 5 of us could ride. Tiger? One tiger we could all 5 ride. Yeah, that's 6 if we're counting Murda.
I mean, I would ride, you would not.
Then we wouldn't get there any faster.
Couldn't you just turn into a tiger?
Not yet. I haven't learned that one. It's too high of a CR level.
I can be a dog. Yeah. So this road heads east for quite a ways before it turns a sharp 90 going south. Along this, there is woods to your right. There is a lake, kind of less dense woods to your left, and you can see every now and then you could see some of that sunlight that is up, glistening off a lake that is over there. Tack, as you're moving along here, Tack, you get a familiar voice, one that feels inviting and warm, and kind of one you've heard before, and you hear almost like a tentacle or a snake's tongue coming into your ear, and it carries the message: "You have arrived. Meet me in the lake." Damn you, Ray. Patron Wet Willie. I am in the lake.
I need to make a detour.
A detour?
Wait.
You're being serious.
Hold up. This is the guy that tells us we gotta go get this stuff all done, and now you want to make a detour.
Some of us answer to higher powers that don't have a lot of choices in the matter.
I'm more confused now than I was.
I just need to go to the lake.
You didn't strike me as a heavily religious man, Tack.
Never said I was religious.
You went to the toy store, I guess. We go to the lake.
I suppose. Alright. A quick detour. May as well with all the chaos that everybody else has caused. Let's go.
Cass, can you catch some fish or something so we can have some sort of meal if we're hanging out?
Indeed, that is definitely something I've gotten very used to. I'll go ahead and pull my trident. And then off we trot, I think.
Or I guess, Avi, if you could just convince them to jump into a skillet, that would work too.
I mean, Avi can turn into a fish.
That's not how any of that works. I could...
Are you guys heading?
I guess here would be the...
Okay.
The place to make a break towards the lake.
Yeah, I think this voice would come into you at the most opportune time for you to make that break. So, as you've been walking for an hour or 2 hours, and you do see kind of this path almost opens up for you as this voice comes in. And you, after this conversation, you all kind of begrudgingly make your way, and you see on the other side of this lake, you see kind of this mountain, and this is nestled here at the base of this mountain, this large lake. The water is perfectly still. Like, there is no wake in it whatsoever. It's very dark water. Pirates of Dark Water, sorry. It's very dark, reflecting that one beam of sunlight that's coming down, and it's kind of reflecting it right back up. It's almost like a mirror. It's just so clear and so still. And Tack, you see, nobody else can see this but you. You see this tentacle kind of come and slither out on the edge of the water, and you can see just the edge of it, just the end of this tentacle, and it's kind of like, in its weird tentacle-y way, beckoning you. Before we get there, what's everyone else doing? As I imagine Tack is like kind of fixated on this position. Everybody else is around.
I'm just watching. Yeah, no, I'm daggers into what Tack's doing.
Bull?
We asked for a detour. We have detoured. So what's going on?
Is there anything like... Is there like an island out in the water, or is it just like a lake?
No island, but you do see, kind of going back west along the shore, you do see a dock with a couple small rowboats. You see a fourth rowboat. Actually, no, give me a perception check. Anybody that would like to, as you're here. Sorry, I gave you a hint there.
You're muted, Bull.
I know, I was talking to myself mostly. That's a 10.
Good save.
20. A perception check, you said?
Yeah.
It's a 21.
But I got a passive at 15, so I do have a question. So if you roll lower than your passive, I guess you're just distracted by like gnats or something?
That's how I think I'd rule it. Because you're actively kind of like scanning the area versus just walking down a path. So yeah, you are like maybe the glare off of this fiery orb in the sky that you haven't seen in a couple weeks since you've been here is kind of blinding you, and you're getting that glare. But you do see there is a little dock down the shore with a couple rowboats tied up.
Yeah, 21 is what I got.
Yeah, 21. You're able to kind of like squint your eyes enough, Avi, that you can see a lone rowboat out in the middle of the lake, just kind of. Well, it's perfectly still. There's no wake, so it's just sitting there. There are 2 fishing poles that are coming over the sides, but you don't see anybody in them. In that rowboat, Tack. At this point, what are you doing? So you see this tentacle. It's not like flopping around, like writhing and like, but it is there, kind of almost seducing you in a way.
Without breaking stride, I will just kind of like slip my backpack off and drop it to the ground and say, "Up, be back," and just walk into the water.
As you get close, this tentacle that is there, kind of just seducing you, coils around your leg and pulls you into the water. The 3 of you see this as Tack is kind of like flopped down and then is dragged into the water. You can't breathe underwater, can you, Tack?
Not till 6th level.
Not yet. So it is reeling you in, and it is kind of like creeping up your leg. The second tentacle comes in and starts to wrap around your other leg. It gets a better hold on you and gets up towards your waist and midsection, and now you are embraced by these 2 tentacles. These tentacles are white. They're almost like a stark albino white that is the only beacon of light that you can see within this darkened water. And it is pulling you down and pulling you down. And at one point you were kind of like skidding along the sandy bottom, but then all of a sudden you get to an edge, and it is just a free fall, and these tentacles are pulling and pulling and pulling. And just when you think your breath, you're breathing your final breath, like you have held it as long as you can, this warm sensation kind of fills your lungs, and you are given breath, and you are able to kind of hold it for another second. And as you look down, you can see a silty bottom, and you see a figure that is outlined, humanoid in shape, upper body, but then its legs, lower half is these tentacles that are just kind of like, there are multiple tentacles that are just kind of floating there in the air, but two of them seem to be recoiling into its body as you get closer. We'll pause that there. What's everybody else doing as you've seen Tack dragged into this water?
Tack's patron appears to be a mer jellyfish.
I would not be doing anything because this is what he wanted. I would just be almost like, but not really moving.
I would run right up to the shore.
Okay.
And wait until, because I'm of the same mind as Avi, but I'm also very, very, very aware that Tack can't breathe underwater. So I'm gonna wait an amount of time until I think, oh god, he's going to drown, and then I'll dive in.
I guess Bull would probably be like, Cass, you want to jump in? Myrna, you got anything you want to say to this? I don't know. Avi, but, well.
He didn't seem too surprised.
I'm going to wait until... Because this is what he wanted. He did want to make this detour, and he didn't seem shocked or confused or anything like that, so I'm going to wait until I think he's going to be struggling for breath, and then I'm going to dive in.
Well, he did say he had a
pull him out.
higher calling. That could just mean he had to take a piss or something. That's...
You saw him suddenly, like, slip and be pulled in by something, right?
Yeah. Well, I just meaning coming down to the lake. I don't know if he actually...
I was going to say, that is the most intense
that.
piss I think I've ever seen anyone take, ever. So... I'm not really on board with that one, Bull. No. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll wait until I think that he's going to be struggling, and then I will dive in.
Okay. As the lake quickly goes back to still. Like there was the ripple effect from Tack being pulled in, but it quickly goes back to just this flat sheet of water. Tack, as you are now getting closer to the sandy bottom, you see this figure. The lower half is tentacles, but it does have two arms that are humanoid. They're 5 fingers, very long. Its neck is very thick, and it has sets of gills that come across this way that lead up into these black, beady eyes that are in the center of its domed head. And it is pulling you in, and it touches you down right next to it. And those two tentacles then release you, and you start to kind of like float up just a little bit. But it's almost like you're not so buoyant that you're floating to the surface, but you are just kind of floated there in suspended animation almost. The water around you gets warm and starts to circle, and it stares at you. Ah, you have arrived. And it has no mouth that is making these. It's more of this telepathic communication. And those eyes don't move at all. They are just zoned in on your eyes as it's looking at you. Good. Release the cloud that is put in place, and you will be bestowed with all the gifts that I can give you.
Cloud.
Strahd. Those tentacles that are kind of just moving around in the sand, and they're creating these like sidewinder etches in the sand, in the silty bottom that are there, much like a snake moving along the desert. And one comes and wraps around you and starts coiling up your leg. The other one comes down on your other side, starts coiling down your arm. The other one comes around the other leg, comes up over your shoulder, opens your pack. There's now fishing inside. Or did you left your whole pack upstairs, right?
Yeah,
upstairs.
I did.
Where your pack would be manifests that tome, that yellow tome that you received in the death house, that overnight turned briny and kind of waterlogged. It just kind of manifests in this tentacle, and it opens. This other tentacle comes in and kind of starts flipping pages. and you can see it just magically etching into the page. And as you look at it, you see what would be the spell Shape Water is now manifesting itself on this page in front of you. Flips a couple pages. Manifests the spell Message on there. The tentacles come up, slam it shut, and it disappears. I have been locked in this lake for too long. Rid Barovia of Strahd, and I will be released, and you will have everything I can give you.
I'll do my best to, like, I guess, bow or curtsy even, floating in the water.
Yeah, so those tentacles kind of come up around your back and, like, help you kind of bow. Not forcing you, just kind of assisting this motion. Like, you're not so familiar with being so far down. There's some pressure that starts to build on the temples of your head, and your movement is kind of struggles a little bit.
It'll be done.
Good. And those tentacles start to almost like cone around you, creating like almost straight jacketing you in, like tying you up, and starts to push back up to the surface, and you start to go rise once again. As you're doing this, there's a moment where that breath that you were given starts to fade. I need a Constitution save.
Of course we do. Of course, Constitution save always. Yeah, that's.
I'm diving in.
That's a tax strong point. Constitution. Yeah, that's a 7. 7.
All right. As you are coming up, and Cass, as you're kind of there, being the most vigilant of the three that are up there, looking, you see something kind of spiraling. Tack, you're pushed and almost propelled and released. And as you, just before you break the surface of the water, you have to take this big inhale, and you just get a lungful of water, and you're coming flop up on the bank there. You take 3 points of damage as just that pressure and the inhaling of water, and you're able to spit it all out, but you do take a little bit of damage there. And now you are there. You are, you have your bag and everything is there on the bank, but you do feel changed in a way. You do feel different.
I spend a good while coughing.
Okay. Yeah, and as every cough just seems to get more of that darkened water. It's almost like bile-like. It's not thick or anything, but it is just not a pleasant water. There's no saltiness to it, but it is just darkened. Every cough feels better and better, like you're getting it all out.
We can go.
Well, we'll extend, I think, one of the rations of jerky to Tech. Like, are you hungry, or?
I'll accept the food and eat. Yeah.
Seems like that might have taken a little bit out of it. Anybody want to signal Cass?
Yeah, you saw him kind of.
Yeah,
I
I assume I would have seen the jettison of.
Yes.
The Jettison of Tech. What a fantastic what a fantastic book title.
It's a band name, yeah.
Book title, band name, it works. I would wander straight over and just say, all right, so are we going to talk about any of that, or are we just going to go ahead and nod and move on?
I mean, there's not a lot to say. I've been tasked to do what we were already planning to do, so
maybe you'll be more on board then.
I mean, we were gonna have to kill Strahd at some point, right?
Well, we needed Strahd to get out of here. Killing him is an option.
He doesn't really seem like the type that's just going to be like, all right, guys, leave.
You're not wrong.
From everything we've heard thus far, I I didn't figure our encounter with Strahd was going to go peacefully.
You would probably be right. So, your higher power
Patron,
also
if you will.
wishes to get rid of Strahd. I see. Tell me, if your patron is so powerful, then what does Strahd have on them?
I don't know. Patron doesn't talk a whole lot.
Don't ask, don't tell. Alright. I suppose we're killing Strahd then.
What's one more? I mean, there's probably going to be a few more on the way to one more, but...
Yeah, I think that kind of dictates how we handle things from here on out.
I mean, you guys have to kill Strahd.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not making a decision for you. I just know that if I want to go home, that's going to be my way out. Even if Strahd were the nicest fellow that was willing to let me leave, that's not really an option for me anymore at this point.
I see.
So how do we handle Madam Ava? Because, I mean, maybe some of us could ingratiate ourselves with the Vistani and then they would just let us leave. But if you have to take care of Strahd, that's a whole different...
Well, we know that...
games here.
Well, we know that we have to... That Strahd is the only person that can deal with this situation anyway. Even us going to Madame Ava is just finding out to what degree and what we have to do and how to get there. So, one way or another, we're going to end up...
Besides, didn't we need to pick up that Clockwork Man for Blinsky?
Ah, yeah.
Maybe he'd trade the monkey for the man.
Weirdo.
I mean, I suppose my point is Ava's probably working with Strahd, so how do we want to do this? Are we coming in friendly-like? Are we coming in storming camp-like? Or sneaking in?
It's a camp full of Vistani. I think going in friendly and just getting the information we need is probably smart. I'd rather not have to fight off a whole camp full of God knows what.
Yeah, I mean, ambushing and murdering one man's simple enough. I don't know that it would go quite as well if we were to attack an entire colony, camp, festival of Vistani. I'm not sure. What do you call a grouping of Vistani? Tribe?
It's a murder of Vistani.
Murder of Vistani?
I mean, I guess what I'm getting at here is I'm assuming they all know who we are, and we have been brought in here by Vistani, so I don't know if we can just waltz on into camp without raising any sort of suspicion, I suppose.
Well, we were brought in by Vistani, yes, but we were also brought in to deal with Strahd. So I think we'll be alright. I think. Pretty much that. Just that. Is currently just...
Have we properly planned any of this? Literally any of it. This is pants seat here. This is all we do.
Then
that's what we excel at.
Then let's push on. And what time was it?
At this point, it's about 5 in the evening. What was it like a welcoming sun that you saw for the first time since you've been here has now started to fade beyond. Those mountains that would be on the other side of that lake starts to fade away. The sky starts to get a little dark. On the map, you are still in that. I put a little token there.
Yeah. Can we get to the creepy windmill before dark or close to dark?
We could always go through the forest.
About 3 hours via road, or you could cut through the forest.
I mean, we're looking for a place to stay for the night, right? We're not going back into Vallaki or Vallaki.
Correct. Yeah.
It's about a
Avi, you
2-hour
wanted
trek
to visit
back.
it previously on our initial trek by it, right?
I'd rather not be killed in my sleep in Vallaki. At least out on the open road.
Yeah, no, I say we
Wow.
go. That's I'm up for an adventure. Maybe it's where they make all the dolls here.
Avi, if we die in this windmill, I will kill you.
Fair.
Yes. Can you freeze the lake under us?
I can freeze parts. I can't freeze the entire lake.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's kind of what I mean. Like that, just enough for the 5 of us to sleep, so we don't get ambushed in the night.
Whenever I make those kinds of arrangements, you will find after an hour or so the spell collapses. So, unfortunately not. Unless you want me to just go ahead and continually frostbite it and hope that just keep casting the cantrip on rotation. Yes, unfortunately, it only lasts an hour.
You don't want to go to the creepy windmill?
I do.
Bull?
And, yes, we should.
I mean,
Bull.
Bull seems to be the one that doesn't want to go to the creepy windmill now.
Bull, here, how about this? If we go to the creepy windmill,
And I'm just really confused because usually I'm the one with problems with terrible ideas,
Yeah,
which
no,
I assume going to a creepy windmill is a terrible idea, but
It's not. Bull, I will do a full ventriloquist lineup for you if we go. I will entertain you through the night.
All right, let's do it. We cut through the woods, or we following the trail? What are we doing here?
I think if it's 3 hours, they'd put us there by like 8-ish. So,
But this is Barovia. It gets dark at 5:45.
well, it's like dark now, isn't it?
There's still some light out, enough to.
I think we could probably risk cutting through the woods.
Who is this?
That
Well, if
campsite.
we're making bad decisions, yeah, let's just make terrible choices.
There aren't good decisions to be made at this point as far as TAC is concerned. They're all bad choices.
You would know if Dax was here. Holy hell!
Well, it's
She
the
would be
perfect time to
killing us.
do them then.
See, this is what happens when mom goes on vacation and the kids are left with dad.
It was chaos.
Ice cream for dinner. It's fine.
Disneyland dad over here.
All right,
Let's do
you
it.
guys.
do
So
it.
instead of heading east along Old Svalich Road, you decide to enter into the woods of outside of Vallaki. Who's leading this? There's no clear path. If you want to give me a perception survival check to see if we can find maybe a game path or already trodden trail.
We've got like 2 druids, right? What are y'all leading? Are a druid and a half at least?
If somebody wants to lead, I'll be over the shoulder.
I'd give you advantage then if.
I'm leading, definitely.
All right.
You do it.
But also, if that was said in character. 18.
18.
A question over the table, like, how common is it to people to be like, I mean, I guess cleric is probably pretty common for people to say, and wizard, but like outside of that, maybe bard, but like, are people like, yeah, I'm a fighter, I'm a rogue. I don't know how.
True.
Yeah, that's.
I think druid would probably be fairly common. I don't know. I don't know if many sorcerers or warlocks would be like,
I'm a warlock. Perfect warlock. So, Cass, as you're kind of in the front here, Avi's over your shoulder, you struggle a little bit through the underbrush here that kind of is in between much of the tall trees that are throughout this forest, but eventually, probably about 50, 60 yards in, you come across what looks like a game trail. It's not a path trodden by humans, but you come across a game trail, and with that check, you could tell that these are wolf tracks that make this kind of like their nightly hunting rounds. This is one of the trails that they travel along. Every now and then you catch a little deer track, but definitely more prominent with the wolves.
Let's move. Keep your eyes open.
Okay.
I planned on closing my eyes this entire trek.
How are you guys? Are you guys moving normal pace? Are you trying to stay stealthy now that you know that maybe there's wolves in the area? What?
Feeling
How do you
probably quick, trying to beat the
Nightfall.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
As you're moving through, you do hear every now and then some like howls of the wolves and some rustling, but nothing kind of coming up on you. You travel through. It's about a good 45 minutes to an hour of hard walking through that underbrush. The game trail only does so much as you are bigger humanoids and not as sleek as a wolf moving through the woods. But you do make it out onto the trail at a certain point, about an hour later, right there on that bend. You saved about 2 hours off of that trek there. So it's about 6:30 in the evening time, what we would know as evening. And now that you're on this side of the woods, it has gotten a lot darker a little bit faster as you're moving away from that sun falling down. And as you kind of continue south on this trail, you do see that windmill, and the 4 blades of that windmill are turning very, very slowly. And in the top window of it, you can see faint candle light.
Okay, so it's occupied.
And it is kind of up on this hill that gets above the trees, so the wind actually turns the mill there.
All right, what's the plan?
So you guys are. I'll say you guys are now at the base of that hill that would go up a couple hundred feet.
Yeah, we'll just go make friends, I think.
Is that window?
There is a window up. Give me a perception check, Bull, as maybe you can get a little bit more here.
No, that's 7.
Yeah, you just see that one window, faint candlelight. Anybody else that wants to kind of take a look, you can give me a perception check too.
I've got a plan.
Oh no! Whatever.
Never ends well.
Now, hear me out. 1 or 2 of us just grab on to the windmill. It'll swing us around the window. We can look and see inside without anyone occupying it, being none the wiser.
I think you fail to understand that there's this thing called gravity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you not know how a windmill works, Bull?
Yeah, it just swings continually.
No, it swings because the wind blows it. If you're hanging off the thing, you think it's gonna move? The math there doesn't add up.
He'll pick some grass and throw it into the air. I think maybe the wind's moving fast enough.
The grass kind of falls and then accidentally moves a little bit in one direction, but then keeps falling.
I was gonna say, please tell me it just drops straight down.
There's like a brief moment where kind of the curvature of the blade of the grass kind of catches weird and then continues to fall. Not a whole lot of wind.
I mean, if you want to ride a windmill, Bull, I'm not the one to tell you no.
Yeah, just 8 seconds.
I'll wait down here.
I rode the windmill for 8 seconds. Said Bull. Very ironic. Anybody else want to give me a perception check as you guys are standing at the bottom of this hill? I don't know if anybody took me up on that.
Oh, go on then, because you.
I'll make a roll,
so
but
nicely.
I'm terrible at it, so probably gonna get a 2.
I got
a 2.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, dirty.
I also got a 2.
Ooh. Avi, as they're sitting there kind of arguing, should they strap into this roller coaster ride of a windmill, you see the same cart that you saw in the village of Barovia come up and park right at the base of the windmill, and you see a figure go inside. This is the same cart that you bought the
meat pie
pies
cart. From. Yes, I need more meat pies. Let's go, dude. I'm walking up there as soon as I see it. I'm just gonna walk up there, not say anything to anybody while they're arguing. I'm just gonna walk to the door.
Okay.
And I'm gonna lightly knock and then try to open it and say, hello, I am in the need of some more meat pies. I seem to have run out. I know it's late, but do you happen to have any for sale? And then I'll knock a little bit louder. Hello, meat pies. Want to buy WTB meat pies, please?
Just a second. So as you get up there, you see that same cart. What's everybody else doing? Are they following? This might be weird to see Avi just kind of like take off. How else is everybody dealing with this?
I roll my eyes. I just shout. No, I just say, "Oh, this babysitting job is really not paying enough." And look at everybody else and say, Are we letting him die? Or are we going to go ahead and, help him out?
I just take up... I take off up the hill after Avi. If he's far enough ahead, I'll actually break into a run.
All right, up we go.
Yeah, I'll follow suit. And how high is that window that we saw these from?
You should be on the map there. I moved everybody.
Oh, we have a map, yo.
Yeah, you should be there.
Oh, look at that.
So you see what looks to be 3 levels, with the top level being rather tall. There could be an attic up there. There are 2 windows stacked above this door. There is a set of scaffolding or framing that circles around this lower part of the windmill here. Avi, as you knock on the door, even before you get that first knock in, the door opens, and it opens in, and you see that woman, the same woman you bought meat pies from. Return customer.
Oh, yes, I am in the need of some meat pies and company. And
she kind of steps forward a little bit and closes the door behind her.
Can I get a view of what's behind her as she closed it?
Yeah, give me a perception check there. And there is a D4 from Hitchhiker of the Mind that you can use if you'd like.
Yes, that's a 12, not counting the D4. Rolling... Oh, that's a 4. 16.
Ooh, nice. You see what looks like a kitchen. It's not like one you've seen before. It's kind of very makeshift. Very filthy. A lot of debris and junk kind of strewn about. You're able to catch that. You're getting the sweet smell of those pastries, but your nostrils are also burned with a stench, as that sweet smell is combined and intertwined with this awful odor.
With death. With just say human decay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no pastries at the moment.
Oh, do you mind if I come in and wait?
I do mind, actually.
I can help you cook.
No.
But look at my long... my whole party is long and weary from traveling, and we can help you cook. No. I'm gonna slowly put my finger to her lips as, no. We can help you cook.
I just showed you the picture. You may not want to touch her lips.
I'm still going to. No. Shh. We're here.
She's got kind of this white stringy hair that's kind of put up in a sloppy just clip.
6 fingers?
I just want to point out, we should have seen this picture 7 sessions ago.
I withheld it.
Who bought pies from
That
this
would
woman?
have. Yeah, that would have impacted a lot of life choices.
Oh no, I would have still
Just all
bought
this woman
those.
was like, "Yep, I want that pie."
This is the true curse of Strahd, is some of the names and pictures of people and locations like give it away. So some of that, you got to keep behind the screen, or else you're never going to go.
To be fair, I
I'm
would
not
have
going
bought
into a house.
pies no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, she probably spits in them. Anyway, as you go to touch her lips, that's where we're going to end it for tonight, guys.
Ah, come on!
She bites your finger off. You lost the finger.
Oh no!
She's probably going to bite it off. She's that kind of lady. But that's where we're going to end it tonight. You are at the base of this windmill, and you've seen Morgantha, the person that you've bought meat pies from, and you know that they have some sort of weird property, but you're going anyways. And that's where we'll pick up next time. I'd hate to go in there without your moral compass of Myrna. So we kind of
Have a moral compass?
not really. Like Tax said, you're very task-oriented, mercenary. This is weird for you to be doing this, but you need a place to stay, so you may try the windmill. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much.
So mad at us next week.
Yeah, the kids were definitely playing unsupervised today. But anyways, thank you all for hanging with us on stream. Thank you for the channel point donation, giving us those D4s. We appreciate it. Feel free to use those at any time. The party needs them. The way some of them roll. If you're in podcast or YouTube land, thanks for sticking with us this far. Again, I would love you to come hang out live with us, and that would be every other Sunday at 6:30 Pacific time. So please come check us out. We'll be back in 2 weeks for episode lucky number 13 here at the windmill. Ooh. I will not tell you what this windmill is called. It would give it away. So we are here next week on Sunday. Next week Sunday we'll be here for our Tales from the Cantina. That is a Force and Destiny game, DM by Bob. You can catch us tomorrow night, Monday, for our one-shot Made in Waterdeep from the Uncaged Anthology. Wednesday we'll be back with our Wildmount campaign Beyond Amends as we get back at it, having a good time there. Other than that, I'm ready to say goodbye to you all. Been a fun ride. I thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Watch your hands, cover your face.
Wash your hands, cover your face.